Hello friends, today, we're going to talk about the book Unlocked, The Power of You by GEZIM GASHI. Abhishek was an ordinary man. Life seemed all set and organized for him, but there was a strange emptiness in a corner of his heart that always bothered him. He kept himself busy with work, but sometimes he felt that, despite having everything, something was missing. His days were spent at the office, and then he would come home in the evening and sit in front of the TV. Abhishek had a good job, good friends, and a supportive family, but somewhere deep down, he kept questioning whether he was truly achieving what he wanted in life. One evening, his childhood friend Rohan came to meet him and gifted him a book titled Unlocked, The Power of You by GEZIM GASHI. Abhishek laughed and said, "Now you're trying to get me into reading self-help books?" Rohan smiled and replied, "Oh no, this isn't just any book. I myself have changed a lot after reading it. Maybe it is something that you need too. Just give it a try." Initially, Abhishek thought this book would be like the others, full of motivational talk and the same old advice. But when he couldn't sleep that night, he picked up the book and started reading. The first chapter was titled Self-Discovery. Right on the first pages, it emphasized the importance of knowing oneself, understanding one's strengths and weaknesses. Abhishek felt as though this was written just for him. He had never asked himself who he truly was or what his real identity was. The book said that unless a person understands their strengths and weaknesses, they can't move forward in the right direction. Self-reflection is the key to unlocking your true potential, it read. This line made Abhishek pause and think. He had always tried to live up to others' expectations. Since childhood, his family and society had taught him that securing a good job was the ultimate goal in life. But now he started feeling that maybe he wanted something else, something different in life, though he had never questioned it himself. Abhishek remembered that as a child, he loved to sing. He would sit in his room for hours practicing, and his voice had a unique sweetness that even his friends and family appreciated. But as he grew up, he gradually lost touch with this passion. His family always encouraged him to focus on his studies, and he slowly suppressed that desire. He started to believe that there was no future in singing, so he never took it seriously. That night, he picked up his diary and began writing down his thoughts. He wrote, "Do I really know who I am? What are my strengths? Do I know my weaknesses? And most importantly, am I happy with my life?" These questions made him think deeply. He wrote further, "For how long have I been living according to others' expectations? Everything I do seems to be for someone else. I've never really thought about what I want." He realized he had always tried to meet others' expectations, but somewhere along the way, he had left his own hopes and dreams behind. He remembered another line from the book, "True growth starts from within." He realized that he had never truly tried to understand himself, never tried to look deep within his mind. He resolved that from now on, he would prioritize the things in life that genuinely made him happy, rather than just fulfilling family or societal expectations. Abhishek decided that he would spend the next few days working on himself, understanding his strengths and weaknesses. He thought it was time to bring back some of his old habits. Singing was his passion, and he felt he should embrace it again. The next day, after returning from the office, Abhishek pulled out his old guitar, which had been stored in the cupboard for years. He dusted it off and began humming a tune. He felt as if he was transported back to his childhood when he sang freely, without fear or hesitation. His voice still held that familiar sweetness, and the chords of the guitar felt like magic. He began practicing singing for a little while each evening, which became a sort of therapy for him. The exhaustion and stress of the day would disappear whenever he sat down with his guitar and sang. Every day, he felt a new energy within himself. He was beginning to understand that life isn't just about earning money. True happiness lies in doing something that brings joy to the soul. A few days later, he decided to share his passion with his friends and family, and he started feeling more fulfilled than ever. Abhishek shared it with his friends, and his friends encouraged him to post his songs on social media. Initially, he was hesitant, but then he thought that since he had already decided to understand himself, there was no point in hiding it. He made a short video of one of his songs. His music was melodious, and his friends suggested that he should take his talent seriously. This boosted Abhishek's confidence, and he realized that maybe this was something he was genuinely good at. If you like our free summary, you can subscribe to our channel, buy our membership, or support us via UPI. Now, let's get back to the summary. Gradually, he started posting more songs. He began to view his office work differently. He no longer found office work boring because he had the excitement of singing in the evenings. He tried to balance everything: office work, time with friends, and his new passion for singing. After a while, Abhishek made a big decision for himself. He decided to dedicate his weekends to singing, and would take training from a music institute to enhance his talent. This thought made him very happy. He felt as though his life had a new purpose. Now, there was a new enthusiasm in Abhishek's life. Every day, he learned something new, discovering new things about himself. He felt that his journey of self-realization had just begun, and there were many more things he would come to know. The journey of Abhishek's self-realization had started, but he still felt that this was just the beginning. For the first time, he had felt the depth within himself, but he also realized that the road ahead would not be easy. He began to read the next chapter of Unlock the Power of You, titled Positive Exposure. The book talked about how essential positivity is in life and the importance of keeping negative influences at bay. Gash had explained that if a person surrounds themselves with people and things that don't provide positive energy, they may never reach their true potential. Abhishek read that one should maintain a positive environment around themselves and be surrounded by people who motivate them. This realization made him think about some people and things in his life that weakened his confidence. There were friends who always saw negativity in everything, some relatives who constantly told him what he shouldn't do, and an office environment that suppressed his creativity. He thought about how many times in his life he had wanted to try something new, but he had given up after hearing others' negative comments. He recalled when he had first talked about making a career in music with his family, they had discouraged him, saying there was no future in music. He had been so disappointed by this that he had left his passion behind. Now that he had rediscovered his passion for singing, he wanted to keep these negative influences at a distance, but he knew it wouldn't be easy. He realized that completely distancing himself from negativity wasn't so simple. He remembered once a senior had told him that people only enjoy things that are already successful, not those that are just starting out. He had taken that statement very seriously, but now he understood that it was only limiting his mindset. Gash's book suggested that we should look for people in our lives who inspire us on our journey, not those who hold us back, people who encourage us and say, "You can do it." Reading this gave him a new sense of clarity, and he decided to reduce the negative influences in his life and embrace positivity. From the very next day, he began implementing this change in his life. First, he started distancing himself from friends who constantly looked for negativity in everything. These were friends who were always complaining about one thing or another, making him find faults in everything too. This wasn't easy because these people were his childhood friends, but Abhishek understood that his happiness and mental peace were most important. He thought that sometimes creating distance is necessary, especially when those people negatively impact your thoughts and mentality. Abhishek tried to surround himself with people who had a positive outlook on life. He noticed that in his office, too, there were some people who he was always enthusiastic and cheerful. He started spending more time with people and began paying close attention to their thoughts and conversations. One of his new friends, Kabir, told him one day, "Abhishek, how we handle challenges in life is up to us. Try to find something good in every situation, no matter how difficult it is." Abhishek realized that Kabir's words truly brought peace to his heart. He felt that people like Kabir gave him new inspiration every day. Slowly, he began to notice a change in his thinking. He started feeling more positive every day, and a new light began to shine in every part of his life. He now viewed every day with new hope and tried to find joy in the smallest things. Abhishek also started changing his social media habits. He began following pages and profiles that shared positivity, motivation, and inspirational content. He used to waste a lot of time on social media, but now he made it a source of inspiration for himself. He realized there was a significant shift in his thoughts and energy. Abhishek gradually felt that a balance was starting to form in his life. His new friends and their ideas motivated him, and the positivity in his own thoughts was starting to show. After some time, Abhishek made another big decision. He thought that he would join a community group where he could meet more inspiring people. He joined a nearby music club where he met like-minded people who were passionate about music. At the club, he met an elderly man, Uncle Ajay, who was a music teacher. One day, Uncle Ajay told him, "Abhishek, music is not just an art, it is therapy. When you connect with music, you connect with yourself. Positivity comes into life this way, when you stay connected to yourself and your happiness." Listening to this, Abhishek gained a deep understanding that he needed to keep himself constantly inspired and in a positive environment. Meeting Uncle Ajay and the other members of the club made Abhishek realize the true purpose of his life. He knew he was still in the process of learning, but now the path seemed clearer. Now, every day had a purpose, a hope. Abhishek's lifestyle had completely changed. Earlier, he would easily get discouraged in any situation, but now he saw every problem from a new perspective. Whenever he faced difficulty, he would ask himself, "What can I learn from this?" He realized that this positivity and inspiration were coming from within him, because he had started spreading positivity around him. Abhishek realized that true positivity does not depend on others, but is within us. When we create a positive environment around us, we also become a part of that positivity. He now understood that his journey of self-realization was still ongoing, and he had a strong positive support system to guide him forward. His life had now taken on a new color. Abhishek's journey had just begun. The previous chapters had brought changes in his life that he had never imagined. He had recognized his inner positivity, kept himself away from negative people, and created a positive atmosphere around him. But he still felt that he needed to go deeper to understand himself better. A few weeks later, he started reading the next chapter of the book, Embrace Creativity. This chapter explained the importance of creativity. Abhishek read on and realized that creativity does not just mean painting, music, or dance. In fact, creativity means finding that part of us that helps us understand ourselves more deeply. The book mentioned that participating in creative activities can change our perspective and help us discover new ideas and paths to move forward in life. Abhishek realized that creativity had always been inside him. He had just never given it a chance to flourish. He had reintroduced music into his life, but Gashi's advice made him think about many other possibilities. After reading the book, that night, Abhishek made a promise to himself that he would explore new things in his life. He decided to step out of his comfort zone and vowed to adopt one new creative activity every week, no matter what it was. It would not only teach him something new, but also help him recognize the hidden potential within himself. In the first week, he decided to try painting. As a child, he had enjoyed playing with colors, but never got the right opportunity to try painting. He bought some paints and a canvas from the market and started painting at home. At first, he didn't know where to start, But as soon as he picked up the brush and spread the colors on the canvas, he felt a strange sense of calm. He was painting without thinking, simply feeling the colors. As he finished the painting, he realized that it seemed to express a part of his heart. The painting was telling a story he had perhaps never shared with anyone. While painting, many thoughts came to his mind, and through them, he understood himself more deeply. He realized that creative activity is not just an expression, but also a form of therapy. He understood that painting was not just about filling a canvas with colors, but a medium to understand himself and express his thoughts. In the next week, he decided to try something new. This time, he took up photography. He started with his phone, capturing things around him. At first, he thought photography was just a pastime, but gradually he realized that it was much more than that. Whenever he clicked a photo, he looked at the subject carefully and felt the little details within it. Abhishek realized that photography was giving him the ability to see things from a new perspective. He had never observed things in such detail before, but now he saw beauty in every little thing. He learned how something as simple as a flower petal could be so unique. He realized that this activity was slowly teaching him to see things with a new understanding. In the following week, he decided to try sketching. He took a paper and pencil and tried to recreate one of his childhood sketches. At first, he faced some difficulties, but as he continued, he felt like he was diving deeper into himself. While sketching, he had to pay attention to every stroke, and this helped him stabilize and clarify his thoughts. As he sketched, he felt a sense of calm in every stroke. He started paying attention to every small detail, and he realized that his thoughts were becoming much deeper. He now understood that creative activities were not only giving him a way to express himself, but also calming his mind and soul. He began to see and understand himself in a new light every time. Abhishek now started to feel that staying connected to creativity was increasing his peace of mind and inner satisfaction. His life now had new energy, a new direction. Every day, he tried to do something new and was constantly pushing his own limits. He found that when he did something new, new ideas and thoughts emerged in his mind. Every day, he felt better about himself than the day before. He then thought, why not take his creativity even further? He thought he could express his songs in a new way. He began creating new tunes on his guitar and started adding them to his songs. He began looking at his songs from a new perspective. Abhishek's life now not only had a new enthusiasm, but also a new direction. He was beginning to understand that creativity was not just an activity, but a way to give new direction to the energy within us. When he created his own tunes on the guitar, he realized he was in a completely different world. A world where he had the complete freedom to express himself, where he could say things that perhaps couldn't be expressed in words. Abhishek had now started to know himself in a new way. He realized that this creative exploration had become a part of his life. Now, he thought about doing something new every day and lived in the joy of doing it. He understood that we should take every opportunity to express ourselves, because it's the only way we can understand ourselves and connect with who we truly are. Now, his life not only had new energy, but also the joy of knowing and expressing every new part of himself. Abhishek's journey of self-realization and creativity was ongoing, but now his life. A new challenge was coming, and in the journey where he had rediscovered himself with positivity and creativity, now he needed a new lesson: resilience. When he began reading the next chapter of Unlock the Power of You, titled, Build Resilience, he realized that not everything in life is easy. Gash had written that everyone faces ups and downs in life, and learning from them is true success. He had written that setbacks or failures are also a part of life, but they should be seen as opportunities to learn, not as failures. This thought sank deep into Abhishek's mind. Abhishek recalled how, in the past, he had taken many small failures very seriously. Whenever he faced failure in something, he would feel weak and think that maybe he wasn't as good as he should be. But this time, he decided that he would treat his setbacks as opportunities to become stronger. A few days later, he faced his first real test of this new mindset. He was working on a new project at the office, one that required a lot of hard work and creativity. He was fully immersed in it, putting all his energy and fresh ideas into the project, thinking this would be his chance to prove his abilities. But just before the project was finished, a major problem arose. The client demanded a complete change of the theme, instructing him to abandon all the work he had already done and start over from scratch. Initially, Abhishek was angry and frustrated. He had worked so hard, and now he had to start everything again. It felt as though all his efforts had been wasted. But then, he remembered the lines from Gashi's book about seeing setbacks as learning opportunities. He asked himself, "If I treat this setback as an opportunity, what new thing can I learn?" He calmed himself and began to view the setback as a challenge. He thought that if he started over with his creativity and hard work, this would be the real test of his capabilities. Abhishek began the project again with full energy. This time, he paid attention to every tiny detail and incorporated his past experiences. He was doing the work even better than before, and he felt a newfound strength within himself. He realized that the setback had made him more focused, and he worked with his full potential. When the project was finally completed, he received even better feedback than before. He was so happy to see that he had turned that negative experience into a valuable learning opportunity. He now understood that setbacks sometimes come to reveal our hidden strengths. He also realized that his mindset had strengthened, and his self-confidence had grown. He began to view every challenge from a new perspective. This experience showed Abhishek a new direction. Now, he asked himself the same question every day. What did I learn today? This question made him stronger each day. He learned that life offers something to learn every day, whether it's a small detail or a big lesson. Now, he sought a lesson in every difficulty, and gradually he began to understand life in a new way. Some time later, he faced another big test of life. A guitar performance he had been planning for months was suddenly canceled. He had high hopes for this performance, thinking it would be the result of his hard work and would give him a new identity. But the cancellation left him feeling disappointed again. He felt as though his effort had been meaningless. For a moment, he felt weak again. But then, he reminded himself, "No, this is also an opportunity to learn." He saw the setback as a test of his resilience, and made a promise to himself not to let it break his spirit. He thought deeply about what he could do differently in this situation. Abhishek decided to take the cancellation as a break and use this time to sharpen his skills. He started working on songs he had never properly learned before. He used this time to improve his performance skills. Gradually, he realized that setbacks were actually preparing him to perform even better in the future. Abhishek's mindset had now changed significantly. He began to see every small and large setback as part of his journey forward. He understood this concept thoroughly. Setbacks are neither failures nor obstacles. They come to prepare us for the path where we face true success. They now stand at every turn of life, with new strength. A change was coming in Abhishek's life. He was not only recognizing his inner strengths, but was also emerging stronger from life's ups and downs. He began to see each setback as an opportunity to learn and move forward with resilience. Now, in the next chapter of the book, Gashi talked about two qualities, empathy and adaptability. When Abhishek read this chapter, he realized how important these two qualities were in his life. Gashi had written that in today's changing times, having empathy and adaptability is essential. Empathy allows us to understand others' perspectives and respect their feelings, while adaptability gives us the ability to adjust in every situation. Abhishek thought that improving his empathy would not be easy for him, as he was often absorbed in his own world and sometimes failed to understand the perspectives of others. He realized that his friends and colleagues often hesitated to share their feelings with him, perhaps because he never listened to them properly. He was so caught up in himself that he often failed to understand the problems of others. He began making small efforts to develop empathy with his friends and family. Now, when a friend spoke to him, he would listen attentively without interrupting, trying to understand their feelings. He began putting himself in their shoes and viewing things from their perspective. Gradually, he realized that empathy not only helped others, but also gave him the opportunity to see the world from a new perspective. One day, his friend Aman was stressed at the office. Abhishek noticed a problem on Aman's face. Previously, he might have ignored it, but this time he used empathy and went over to Aman. He casually asked, "Aman, is everything all right? If you have any problems, you can share them with me." Aman looked at him for a while and, encouraged by Abhishek's gesture, shared his problems. Abhishek listened attentively, understood his emotions, and reassured him. That day, Aman thanked him and said that he had never been able to speak so openly to anyone before. This experience was a big lesson for Abhishek. He realized that empathy not only helps others feel better, but also brings a positive change within oneself. Now, adaptability also became an important part of Abhishek's life. In a world that changed every day, adapting to new environments was a challenging task, but he was ready to embrace it. Gashi viewed adaptability as a medium for growth, which allows us to adjust to any situation. Abhishek remembered how he used to fear small changes in the past. He liked doing things in a fixed way, and whenever something changed unexpectedly, he would feel uncomfortable. But now, he decided to view change as a new experience and try to adjust himself in every situation. The very next week, he had to face a test of adaptability. A big project came up at the office, and his team had to work with 2 different clients, each with their own demands, and the project needed to be completed quickly. Abhishek couldn't figure out how to coordinate with such rapidly changing instructions. At first, he thought this might be too difficult for him, but then he calmed himself and thought about adaptability. He decided to view this challenge as an opportunity. He talked to his team members and listened to their ideas. He adopted new ways of organizing the team's work and tried to adapt to each situation. Gradually, he became more comfortable with the change and started enjoying the project. Abhishek realized that when he began to sync with the situation, his work started improving. Now, he saw every new challenge as an opportunity and tried to understand it. He understood that when we adapt to any situation, it makes us stronger. Adaptability helped him not only make his thinking more flexible, but also taught him to see every opportunity as a new lesson. A big change also came in Abhishek's office. A new member joined his team, someone completely different from Abhishek. He always brought new ideas and wanted to do everything in his own way. Initially, Abhishek found this a bit strange, but he decided to try adapting himself to the situation. He tried to understand the new member's ideas and gave him the opportunity to work in his own way. Slowly, Abhishek began to understand that every person has a different perspective and approach, and we should respect everyone's thinking. This experience helped Abhishek truly understand the meaning of empathy and adaptability. He realized that with empathy, we understand others' thinking, and with adaptability, we adjust ourselves to any situation. These 2 qualities were not only making him a better person, but they were also bringing positive changes in his relationships and work. Now, whenever a new situation arose in Abhishek's life, he saw it as a new opportunity. He learned that every challenge, big or small, teaches us something new, and every change brings a new experience. The journey of empathy and adaptability gave Abhishek the strength to be prepared for every turn in life. Now, he was ready to adapt to every new situation and understand every person. Abhishek not only read each lesson of the unlocked power of you, but also applied them in his life. He gradually developed every quality from self-discovery to resilience. The lessons of empathy and adaptability filled him with even more humanity, enabling him to understand every person and adjust himself in every situation. Abhishek's mindset had changed significantly. Instead of getting caught up in trivial matters, he now saw every challenge as a new learning experience. He realized that we don't have control over everything in life, but we always have the power to adapt ourselves to the situation. He understood that empathy and adaptability had brought him closer to his friends, family, and colleagues. Now, he wasn't just living for himself, but also striving to live for others. He realized that we are not just here for ourselves, but we are all connected to each other, and our happiness is complete only when we care for others as well. During this journey, he also realized that his real strength was in his thinking and perspective. He learned that if we stay positive in every situation and embrace change, nothing is impossible in life. There was now a glow of confidence on Abhishek's face, and a new hope in his eyes. Finally, he closed the last page of the book and smiled, telling himself that the unlocked power of you had truly succeeded in showing him his real strength. Now he knew that no matter where he went in life, no matter what challenge came his way, he would adapt himself to any situation and maintain respect in his relationships. Abhishek's journey had started with a book, but now he was ready to write his own life's book with enthusiasm and understanding every day. So friends, that was our book summary for today. How did you like it? Do let us know by commenting, and thank you for listening to the summary till the end.